Resident Evil Requiem will go down as one of those pinnacle games that people look back on with nostalgia and talk about for decades. That's a big statement, and we'll back it up. And by we, I mean OldHunterJoseph and I. This is a joint review, and his channel is in the bio. First, as a Resident Evil game, Requiem is both a gift to the fans and a great entry point for newcomers. The journey brings enough callbacks to make older players like Joseph smile and new players like me more curious about the rest of the franchise. Small things like the chime on the RPD soundtrack from 2 when entering the police station, the leftover relics from the STARS members, and the returning locations of Raccoon City bring a wave of memories. These references follow the theme of the game and offer a requiem, not only for Leon, but the player as well, one perfect for the 30th anniversary. Requiem has the most pleasantly refined gameplay in the series. Through Grace and Leon, you get both first and third-person perspectives, raucous action, and frightening survival horror, different crafting systems, and a larger variety of puzzles. Leon is like a 90s movie star, shooting, parrying, exploding, and even roundhouse kicking scores of zombies into last week. Grace, meanwhile, is out of her depth, overwhelmed and frightened, trying desperately not to mess up as she sneaks around and plans her every move. Even Grace's gun handling is shaky, due to the stark terror of fighting zombies. Switching back and forth between their gameplay modes keeps things exciting. You have someone to relate to, and someone to look up to. The story ends the influence of Umbrella for good, and closes the book on its ghoulish 30-year history. Oddly enough, the plot mirrors the critically panned Resident Evil Final Chapter film. It was great to see some legacy characters return, and we are interested to see if any missing characters appear in the DLC. Grace's good-heartedness makes her almost as likable as the one-liner machine that is Leon. Leon lacks character growth, but makes up for it by being so ridiculously cool. Female gamers will be doubly speechless at him. We've all seen the over-the-top simping. While Grace doesn't have Leon's aura, she does have that satisfying character development, earning her a well-deserved spot among the Resident Evil cast. Performance and graphics are areas where Requiem consistently excels. We tested and played it on the PS5, PS5 Pro, Switch 2, a low-end PC, the ROG Ally, a mid-range PC on Windows and Linux, and on a very high-end PC. Across all tested platforms, we were satisfied with the performance and visuals, both of which ranged from being solid to downright extraordinary for each piece of hardware. HDR presentation is good as well, and Dolby Atmos support on PS5 offers a lot for those with surround sound. Support for controller features is nice, with the Switch 2 offering gyro controls and the PS5's DualSense showcasing its fantastic qualities. With all the praise we've given, Resident Evil 9 does feature some minor narrative drawbacks, which we don't want to talk about in detail to avoid spoilers. All Resident Evil games experience the same phenomenon in the final third, and Requiem is not entirely exempt. Somehow the game feels a bit rushed towards the end, and there were a couple of questionable decisions with some new characters that may or may not be narratively resolved with DLC. There was also a flashback sequence that added more questions than answers. Though the experience takes only about 10 hours, it is very replayable, with bonus features available. The Insanity difficulty changes up safe codes, item locations, the enemy types and locations of enemies, and all that leads to a very fresh experience. We trust you'll leave terrified and satisfied from your playthrough. Capcom has created a pinnacle game in this storied series, which combines everything good from previous entries. This is an experience you can't get anywhere else, with a quality very few games can match. So far, this is the Game of the Year frontrunner, and a perfect 10 out of 10.